Well, sometimes young people are characterized as being too connected to their devices, not connected enough to the world around them.
The Prudential Spirit of Community Award celebrates the teens who not only recognize what's happening in the world, but take the initiative to make things better.
14-year-old My'Kah Knowlin is one of 2 Nebraska top youth volunteers. She's a freshman at Lincoln High School in Lincoln.
Hi,
Good to see you,
My'Kah.
My'Kah.
Hi.
And thanks for
Nice to
wearing
have you.
bright yellow dress. We're so drab over here. You're brightening the whole setup. So
Well,
thank you.
and you are bright anyway. I sort of feel like what you're doing with this initiative is special.
Right, and on top of the dress, you have that award, the Prudential, the Spirit of Community Award. How did you get this thing?
I won the Prudential Spirit of Community Award because I have a nonprofit called My Stories, which is students teaching others respect, independence, empowerment, and strength. And what we do is we work with youth throughout schools and throughout the community to teach them how to report bullying, how to stand up, and how to speak out.
What led you to that? I mean, was there an event? Was there something in your life, or did you see something happen to somebody else to where you thought, you know, we got to do something about this?
I was bullied quite severely for multiple years throughout school. A lot of it had to do with me looking different than the other kids, me speaking different than the other kids. It was a struggle for me. It got to the point that my anxiety and stress of going into the school led me to having seizures. And that's when I hit the point of, I need to make a difference. I need to make sure that this doesn't happen to anybody else.
Right, so you took some action. And how have other students out there responded to what you're doing, especially coming from somebody who's been through it?
Well, we have a youth board on Boxes of Love, which is my 501c3 nonprofit, and each of them have worked with students throughout their area, whether it's in Lincoln, Omaha, or Wahoo, and they have just kind of done their own thing with it, making sure that people learn to talk about it and stop pushing it under the carpet.
I read you intervened. You already know you're making a difference, that there was one life in particular that you helped save. What did you say to her?
I just really wanted to reinforce that her life did matter. What was going on at that moment was not worth taking her life over. And that's something that needs to be talked about more often. Youth suicide and bullying throughout the schools is, like I said, swept under the carpet so often that people don't think that it's actually happening as much as it is.
So what are you doing to get that message out, and especially for our viewers out there, about what they can do? What do you recommend?
I really recommend going to your school counselors, going to your principals, going to your parents, finding somebody who you can talk to. Somebody will always listen. Sometimes it may not seem like they're listening, but they are listening. And if you really don't feel like they're listening, scream from the mountaintops, make sure that they're listening, make sure that you're heard no matter what.
Clearly what you're doing resonates because it stood out for this award. You were one of 2 teens in the state of Nebraska that got this trip to Washington, D.C. Actress Hilary Swank was there.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen any of her movies. Or what was the experience like for you, not just with her, but I'm thinking about being surrounded by all of these like-minded teens who sort of saw an issue in their community and, like you, decided to do something about it.
It was just an amazing experience. There were 102 students from the U.S., well, from the states in the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico. So it was just sitting in a room with students who were in their high school years talking about what they've done. I met multiple students who were doing projects like mine, which was anti-bullying in elementary school and middle school and high school. Students who were working to lower the youth suicide rates in their states. Youth who were putting food in food banks and who started initiatives to get young people working in their community.
Sometimes when you go to these things and you hang out and with these other like-minded people, you're further inspired by things that you can do. Did you pick up anything that you wanted to bring back and use to help with what you're doing?
I did. I want to make what's the word? Events. Sorry. I want to do big events where we have bands, where we have speakers and everything, and have people able to speak about their bully stories, having people have stands and do fundraisers through that.
You still have a couple of years of high school left.
I do.
I feel like we have a lot of people here who, what they're doing, these nonprofits, that is also their job, so they can commit a lot of time to it. You've got finals tomorrow. How do you prioritize to where you feel like you're giving the attention you want to My Stories, but then you're also like growing and a regular teenager and focused on what you know you got to be focused on to keep moving forward?
Honestly, it's a mess right now. I put my community service like at the top of my list with my school, but that's still, it's everywhere.
You still got that speech to write, My'Kah.
I do.
Finals and all that other stuff that comes with
Things
it.
going on. Do you know when the deadline is for the next round, in case some of our viewers watching want to try for this next year?
I do not know off the top of my head, but you can watch the Prudential website.
Yeah.
I know that it's next fall.
They've got a nice site, and the awards
yes.
from this last year, all that's up online.
Yes.
My'Kah, congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll look forward to seeing what comes next for you,
Doing
okay?
good
Thank
stuff,
you.
My'Kah. Thanks for stopping by
Thank
this morning.
you.